Okay, before the review starts, I know that it's kind of tilted. My tripod's, one of the legs is kind of bent, whatever. I know the lighting's kind of, that's not because it's dark out at the time of this review, no. It's because there's no power in this room, so, yeah, that's why the lighting's all, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. Background's a bit different. That's a new poster. A simple favor. I got that from my buddy Jeremiah. Thanks, Jeremiah. He really loves that movie. I really love Anna Kendrick. So he sent me the Blake Lively poster. Still thanks, man. I like Blake Lively. She was that cut though, damn. But Anna Kendrick, yeah. And I'm moving things around in here, so we can kind of see here. So that's why stuff is how it is. Anyway, to the review. What? Okay. This is the 2002 series Birds of Prey from CW or WB. And you might have saw her in Crisis for a brief minute. And this is a rebirth. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. You can say, I'm a fan. So when I heard that there was going to be a Birds of Prey movie, I was naturally excited. And I heard that Harley was going to be in it. I'm like, okay. Then I heard Margot Robbie's Harley's going to be in it. I said, shit. Look, I didn't see Suicide Squad because pretty much everyone from every corner of interest in this movie, from hardcore nerds like myself that read the comics to casual fans, they basically all quoted the Fresh Prince and said, remember my rhymes and stay the hell away. And so I did, until Nostalgia Critic did a review. That was more than enough. But my thing is, when I found out she was going to be in it, I knew she wasn't going to be the antagonist like usual. And I was a little worried. Then we got the full title, Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Fantabulous Harley Quinn. Not digging that subtitle at all. Because that told me everything I needed to know. Harley's the center of attention. And I get why. She not only has better name recognition, but with or without Margot Robbie, but Suicide Squad happens so people know that's Harley. I get it. At the same time, Harley was never part of Birds of Prey in any of the iterations that I've read. She was an antagonist at some point, never part of it, so I was worried. I go see this movie, and I'm relieved. Because she's not part of the Birds of Prey. They have the same enemies, but it's really a concurrent story, two concurrent stories going on at the same time. Harley's story, the Birds of Prey. It's mostly Harley. And I loved Harley in this. I love Margot Robbie, and I wasn't sure how I would feel about her. But I like her in it. The Harley voice, I like what she did with it. It's not, the traditional Harley voice, but I like it nonetheless. The Birds of Prey. Each member got their time to shine, but who is this on the cover of this magazine? Right here. Front and center. Right? No. Right here. There we go. That's the Huntress, right? And who's this on the cover of the TV series? That is also the Huntress, albeit not the correct Huntress, but the Huntress nonetheless, because she is the de facto leader of the Birds of Prey. I know this one's called Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. It's a rebirth, I know. And that works, because Batgirl's in the Birds of Prey. The Huntress in this movie got the least amount of screen time. And you don't get her backstory until midway through, towards the end. And it was obvious for me for obvious reasons, who she was. She kept popping up. I don't know if it was obvious for fans that didn't know about the Birds of Prey TV series or the comics who that was supposed to be. But I took my cousin to see this, and all I did was show her a clip of the 2002 series. And the second she saw it, she was like, "Is that the Huntress?" I said, "Yeah." Like, and this Huntress is a bit different than the one in the comics and in the TV series, because this one has anger problems. And yeah, it's funny. But the Huntress doesn't have anger problems, man. Anyway, all the other members are fine. Renee Montoya, Rosie Perez. Maybe she's one of the interracials I didn't read, but she was fine in this. Isn't Renee Montoya sometimes the question? Or yeah, sometimes she's the question. Like the whole time I'm like, I know that name, Renee Montoya. And then I saw her girlfriend. I'm like, oh, that's who that is. She's the girl with the girlfriend Gotham. Oh, yeah, okay. And she's sometimes the question. Yeah. By the way, speaking of her girlfriend, I didn't know Ali Wong was in this. That was awesome. A lot of people in this I didn't know was in it. X from X-Files, Stephen Williams was in it. Kurgan is in this movie. If you're a wrestling fan from the 90s, you know who that is and why that's awesome. Because Kurgan was in a stable called The Oddities, whose members were Kurgan, Luna Vasan, ICP. And there was another one whose name I can't remember. So I thought that was pretty funny. Because I can imagine if Luna Vasan was still here, she'd probably be in that role. And it'd probably be her and Harley Terrence set up. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and assume that was the mindset they were in when they put Kurgan in this movie, but that was just awesome and very clever in so many ways. Because Harley herself is an oddity, is she not? I was waiting for the Kurgan shuffle or whatever, but he didn't do it. And the fight was just barely that. Still, good scene. Good funny scene. Yeah. The Black Canary. The Black Canary. Yeah, that was kind of controversial, wasn't it? Because there is a Black Canary in the comics, but it's not Dinah. It's somebody else entirely. But I did notice how her TV counterpart is starting to look exactly like her. Right down to being a singer now. Because I saw that in the backdoor pilot, the Green Arrow and the Canaries. She's a singer now, looks somehow 20 years younger despite being 40 years in the future. What is that? And she looks a lot like Janae Smollett in this movie, who is also a singer in this movie. And also like a bunch of mixed races like I can't remember her name off the top of my head from Arrow. Like I'm just now noticing that, like, interesting. If you saw Crisis, you know, I won't spoil it, but all are links now. That's all I'm saying. So, that was interesting. And you know what? She was a damn fine canary. Well, in more ways than one. Been crushing on Journey since Eve's Value. I don't think I've seen that movie in 20 years, and I'm fine with that. Oh. But yeah, love this Black Canary. One hell of a canary cry. Damn. Like, we got two canary cries at the same time in that backdoor pilot. I thought that was cool. This canary cry. Woo. I wish that they could actually scream like they do on the TV show. Like, pretty much every canary does on a TV show, even on this TV show. And say what you will, canary on this one did not have the worst canary call. It was the other canary on this one that had the worst canary call. Aunt Becky, yeah. But yeah, wow. And I like how they kept building up to it, you know. You have the same power your mother had. That's from the comics. So that was pretty cool. But yeah. And then Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain is Batgirl at some point, right? Let me look that up. I'm pretty sure Cassandra Cain is Batgirl, which means I have a bunch of questions in this one. One second. Yeah, that's what I thought. She's Batgirl at some point. Okay. Like what? Yeah, she's one of the Batgirls, which makes sense because Batgirl's in the Canaries. But I don't remember Cassandra Cain being Asian. I don't know what that's about, but and no, she's not Batgirl in this movie. She's still the child, which is interesting. Wait, where was Barbara Gordon? She's one of the original members, right? Oracle? Well, she was Oracle? At least the TV show got that right. Ugh. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, she's Batgirl at some point, but this one she's a teenager who steals. And that's it. Now, I don't know a great deal about this particular Batgirl, but I feel like she should know how to handle herself because, she's in the Bat family. But she does towards the end, kind of. That was interesting to me. I don't know. Like, I don't think you need to force, what's the word? You don't need to force diversity. But whatever. I'm not political. Whatever. Janae killed it. Surprised me. Whoever this girl is, I played Cassandra Cain. She played that part well. The antagonist, the Black Mask. I know a bit about him. Not much. More of a Red Skull kind of guy. Laughable. Laughable. Maybe that was on purpose. Like, there are times where he looks like Jim Carrey, times where he looks like Jerry O'Connell, and then they have this statue made of him that looks like Val Kilmer. I'm like, is that on purpose? Is all this on purpose? I don't know. Like, he's laughable as a villain. Like, he's supposed to be intimidating, really? So basically, I've talked about everybody but Harley. Because I talked about everybody at length except Harley. Because I've honestly saved the best for last. Harley was the star of this movie, as I feared, but I liked it. She gave no fucks, and I loved it, man. And yes, she confirms this is a sequel to Suicide Squad, which is funny because Suicide Squad 2 is going out of its way to completely distance itself from that first movie. And this one did too in some ways. That's funny. Mm-hmm. I mean, then again, we got two Chucky franchises going on at the same time, so why not? Anyway, like, yeah, she's funny, she's kick-ass, she's badass. She is vulnerable at times. She is smart, she is crazy. She is not so smart, but still smart. This Harley, of the three kind of live action Harleys we got, the first one being on that soap opera, Arlene Sorkin, who became the original Harley, based off a dream sequence from a soap opera. Look it up. That's basically Harley. That's where that came from. And then the Harley in this one, Mia Sarah, and then Margot Robbie. Well, she's definitely the most Harley of all the Harleys, in live action, that is. I still believe she was out of place being on this side of this fight, but I liked it. And I liked the fact that she did not join the Birds of Prey. Okay? I like that. You know, there was one thing she did at the end. I'm like, okay, I would watch that, I guess. It'd be weird as hell, but alright. Uh, Speaking of end, there's no end credit scene, but there is something after the credits. It's a gift from Harley, I'll say that much. So, this was rated R for a reason. Language, lots of violence, a little bit of boobs, a little bit. I mean, I was going to take my 5-year-old niece to see it because she loves Harley, but I don't know, faces being ripped off might be a bit much for her. I mean, we watched Deadpool together, and she didn't mind Deadpool, but I don't know. That might be a bit much. That was the one thing about this villain I liked. He ripped your face off if he didn't like it. That was cool. Black mask. Why didn't he wear the mask? Because then he'd be like Leatherface. But there's a scene where the mask looks like Leatherface, so. In this movie, it takes place in Gotham, mostly during the daytime. So there's no Batman. So, anyway, the soundtrack of this movie's good. I mean, it started with I Hate Myself for Loving You by Joan Jett. I was doing this in the theater, like, yeah. It's just an awesome, badass soundtrack for the most part. And I knew, right at the beginning, I said, I'm going to hear the song This Is a Man's World at some point throughout this movie, and I do. And it's sung by a woman. That was what happened too. Wish I hadn't caught that shot, but yeah. The score is also good too. Like, it's like a late 90s, early 2000s rave music, electronic kind of score like they used to do back then. Like, this show kind of has, love the score on this show, love the score in this movie. It's awesome. Like, this entire movie is like 90s, early 2000s. It's like, from the set design to, like I said, the music, just how it's shot. It's all like it's one of those 90s Batman movies, you know, but better than the Schumachers, not the Burtons. Oh yeah, I mentioned Jim Carrey earlier, didn't I? Because Jim Carrey was Riddler, Batman Forever. Val Kilmer was Batman Forever. That's why I mentioned that earlier. Yeah. Incidentally, I was watching Jay and Silent Bob reboot yesterday, and then I knew there was going to be a Batman v Superman type deal somewhere in the movie, and there was. Didn't I expect Val Kilmer to play, like, Bluntman, the Batman type character, to go up against Elizabeth Benoit's Supergirl? Like, I was not expecting that at all. And she's chronic. Like, okay, sure. Anyway, this movie was awesome. I went decked out, Wonder Woman shirt, Batman jacket. You know, I absolutely love this movie, and I would love a sequels because they set up two different things. Like, you finally see the birds of prey at the end when they're all formed. After everything's happened, then you see the birds of prey in full costume, like at the very end after everything's happened. You get a small tease, like right before the big fight with the costumes, but it's after that fight you finally see them in costume. They look great. I would definitely like to see more of these birds of prey, more Harley. You know, a villain that's actually worth a damn. Like that's kind of cool. Everywhere else but this movie. Yeah. That is it. Absolutely loved it. Is it better than this? In some ways, but in some ways it's exactly the same. Like, ignoring the fucking source material. Anyway, this movie gets A minus. Yeah, A minus. This is how you do a good DC movie. Like, this was perfect. In Gotham, no less. Perfect. Almost no brooding, no. In other words, like, no brooding, none of that. Not everybody's trying to be Nobody's trying to be Batman. Who has no business trying to be Batman. It's just awesome. This is how you do this, DC. This is how you do this. Alright, that's all. Oh, one thing they could have done, because this soundtrack, there was plenty of Easter eggs and nods throughout. One thing they could have done is play the theme song to the old show. All the things he said by Tattoo. Perfect. This thing would name Montoya. Like, come on, it was perfect. Perfect, man. This is the greatest Easter egg that nobody will ever catch but us that actually watch that show. Okay, that's it for this time. I'm done. Oh yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of non-linear movies, but this one works because that's probably how Harley's mind works. It's like this movie and Run Lola Run, which incidentally, there's a scene in this movie that's kind of like Run Lola Run. So, that's all. Oh yeah, I mentioned Kurgan was in this. This is the first time, to my knowledge, that I've seen a wrestler in a DC Comics movie since Batman and Robin. Since the Ultimate Solution played Bane, the much better Bane. I said it.